What's up, everybody? This is Jay, and this is my recap review for Power Book 2, Episode 7, Sex Week. Now, we know that Tariq got a lot going on, and I think that he's getting in more trouble than he realized with all these haters that's starting to develop around him. He got all this drama. Some of it he's aware of, some of it he doesn't know about, and I think it's starting to catch up with him. And we can see the beginnings of some of the hateration start in this episode. Plus, he got this little love triangle that he's starting to create. So we'll get into that and let's break it on down. Now, if you're new to my channel, what I'm going to do is recap the episode. After I recap the episode at the end, I'm going to give it my rating. It's called a Moscow, and also my real talk review. So let's get into it. Now, when the episode kick off, we see first that Pastor Cavassier done had a good day. It's a lot of money. And then Kane and his crew come in, the GTG boys. They got him and steal money, then messed up the church's money. Now, Big Yella saw the GTG tattoo, but he ain't say nothing. Next thing you know, they cleaning out the ATM. Rev Ron trying to get them to change their mind. They ain't trying to hear it. Then Big Yella got away. And so then one of, Kane crew, Spike, he tried to shoot. He ended up missing, ended up popping one of his own crew. They done made a mess. Next thing you know, they had to leave. Meanwhile, we see at Tariq at school, we got the three teachers, Professor Sexy and Mr. McKnight. And they all talking about the studies and stuff. And then somebody come in throwing condoms, talking about sex week. We see that Tariq and Lauren is all smiles because they think they gonna get into this fellowship together. But when they finally announce who made it, Tariq didn't get it, and he was looking a little salty. He ain't gonna get to suck on them juicy lips. And so next thing you know, out in the hallway, that Professor Sexy tell him, hey, don't get down, your hopes too down, we can figure something out. But Professor McKnight was looking like he thought, oh, she touched his shoulder, something going on. Meanwhile, Riley getting her little cookies tossed right quick by Braden. He got all type of tartar sauce and filet of fish juice on his face, and Tariq walk in, he pissed, said, I thought I told you don't have the two pigs in the blanket in my room no more. Then next thing you know, we see Professor McKnight come in. He think he done caught Professor Sexy on something. He trying to holler or whatever. And she say, hey, look, we gonna keep her professional. You can help me with this work. Do these cards. Meanwhile, Drew looking at these little pictures of his boo, little baby Kobe. And then he talking with Diana. Meanwhile, we see that Monet come in and they saying, hey, y'all heard from Kane? They ain't heard from Kane. It's time for the drop. Meanwhile, Monet, she calling the Tejada up in there, Lorenzo, and asked did Kane come see him. I know he come run and see his daddy when it's a problem. He said, look, I talking to him. I tell him where his position in the family. That's what I tell him. He coming by. She say, it's been 3 days. He going to come in by. Don't worry. Meanwhile, we see that Tariq is pissed. He coming to give Zeke his paper, talking about, man, I was writing this paper, man, while you was getting your groove on, man. He like, hey, dog, sex week, bro, but I handle business, man. Don't be mad. So Tariq mad, he dry. Meanwhile, we see Tariq getting checked up on by Baby Stern, asking about that money. Tariq like, don't come up here checking me. He said, man, you better get that money together, boy. The next thing we know, we see Tariq calling Monet, trying to see what's up with the product, because he running low. He need that money. And she say, hey, I'm got a delay, so you got a delay. I'll let you know when we got it. Meanwhile, we see Davis coming to check Sachs, say, hey, man, what's up? The deal's still on? He said, yeah, man, it's still on, but I got to try to make something work, man, or else I'm going to get fired. He say, who could we find or whatever to talk to? And they go down the list of people. And then he say, I got somebody. Next thing you know, it's Paz. What you doing here? I don't have nothing to tell you. Tacha didn't tell me nothing about the murder. He say, hey, look, that's all you got to do. Hey, just come on the stand and say that. I don't tell you nothing. Meanwhile, we see that Diana finally find where her brother is, Kane, and it's a little bust down with a little Kool-Aid pack. She say, go on and get my brother. He comes. She say, we need you. The drop is coming. It's the perfect time to come back. He say, all right, he be there. Meanwhile, Tariq, he get a call from his mama. She say, don't come to court. He like, why? I want to be there. She say, it ain't a good idea. They keep bringing up your name. Then Braden come in, so he cut off the call, and he say, hey, look, man, hey, don't have Riley in the room, man. He's like, why, bro? Why you keep hating? Said, look, man, remember you and your brother got kidnapped just for being here. Don't do it. So then next thing we see Monet trying to get little info out of Drew about Kane. He like, look, I don't know where Kane is. And then Diana say, I know where he is. They say, you do? Yeah, he say he gonna be here for the drop. She say, where he at? I can't tell you. He gotta trust somebody. He can't trust you or Poppy. He gonna have to trust me, ma. Meanwhile, we see Professor Sexy riding that baloney pony like it ain't no tomorrow. Zeke having a good ass time. She over here having a great time, and it looked like she didn't let that tuna fish melt. And Zeke is just like in heaven, boy. He didn't bit his bottom lip off right quick. He didn't about to go for extra credit. And so he telling her, hey, baby, you know, hey, why don't you come on over and meet my auntie? You know, she crazy, but I think you like her. She say, Zeke, I'm faculty. If they find out, it'll be explosive. And then she realized she might have put that tuna on him too tight. Meanwhile, we see Tariq, and he's over here in his room when Braid and brother come in. He say, man, where's that money for that stuff you took? He say, hey, look, bro, I don't know whatever you got my brother into, but you need to stop. He said, look, man, you need to give me that money before I had that scary black Negro come up in here and holler at you again. He like, whatever, bro, I'll call the cops. He say, the cops work for me. He say, yeah, well, I got an alibi. I was with Riley. He say, whatever little weird little threesome you guys got going on, it's sick, bro. I saw you in my room myself. And then Tariq started thinking for a second. Meanwhile, Zeke and Professor Sexy, she just got out the shower and she done washed all that love off, so he about to get in there. He complaining he didn't get to go in there with her. So anyway, she picking up all the condoms they got all over the house. Meanwhile, it's a knock at the door. It's Professor McKnight over here cheesing, chinning, and grinning with a bag of food, talking about, hey, I went to our old spot. I thought it'd be a good memory to share the food. Man, shut up. He talking about he brought the little cards or whatever. So she like, hey, I said, let's keep this professional. Why are you here? He say, hey, I was in the neighborhood. She's like, don't just pop up here. We keep it professional. And so he's salty because he thought he was about to get a little dessert with that meal that he brought. Then he see his ESPN. He like, oh, so you watch the sports highlights? Then he noticed them open condoms wrappers on the table, and now he realized somebody else done had dessert early and it ain't him. And then she say, hey, look, goodbye, close the door in his face. Now he's sitting there talking to himself with a bag of food looking stupid. So he's salty. He go in the car and then he's sitting here mad. He opened up them little index cards that he made for her in her class, and then like a simp of the month, he get in there and go find Tariq card, tear it up, mad, and then begin to write something else down. Now we don't see exactly what he wrote at the time, but we do find out later what he wrote. Meanwhile, we see the next day in class, she talking to the class and she's saying these cards, she want people to work as partners and to try to figure out by using the 48 laws of power what each other's card has on it. So of course, you know, Tariq gonna partner up with Lauren. It ain't no question. Meanwhile, she's saying, hey, do whatever you can to find out, but you can't just tell. And you got to find out using the 48 laws of power. And then you got, of course, Karen. She's like, yeah, I mean, is everything always like that? Is it always just business? Tariq saying everything business. Everybody start to debate, is everything business in this life? Meanwhile, Tariq, he's over here looking to see what the secret is, and he sees what it is. Lauren, she see what it is, so he's starting to think for a second, and we wondering what it is, you know what I'm saying? He may be contemplating for a second about how he gonna get it done. So the next thing you know, we see him in the room with Lauren. He telling her, hey, just tell me the secret. And she's saying, nah, you just tell me since you ain't in the fellowship. He like, hey, I ain't telling you nothing. He take her little notebook. She try to take it from him. She playing, they having a little tickle fight on the bed. Next thing you know, we see her little simp of the month man come in, old Malcolm Farrakhan, and instead of saying something, he gonna end up taking out his phone to take pictures. And she like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm taking pictures so you can see yourself. And she like, what are you doing? And then he said, hold on. And because Tariq said, what you doing in here? And then he said, hold on, men are talking. He said, what are you doing touching another man, woman? He say, man, who are you talking to, man? This dude look like more like Square Drick Douglas. He start talking this whole square little stuff about what he is and the men talking and this and that, and don't call me a, because Tariq called him a ninja, and he said, don't call me a ninja. And then Tariq did it anyway and walked away. So at the end, he acted all militant, but he was really non-violent. Neither one of them wanted no smoke. And when it was all over with, Lauren dumped his ass anyway. Next thing you know, we see Tariq, and he's following around Riley 6'9", wondering what's up, what she's doing, because something ain't right with her. It's something that's fishy about her, and I ain't talking about no tangy tuna. Next thing you know, he sees her, and she's in the courtroom, and now he realizes something ain't right. She's in there talking about she waiting on her lawyer, her uncle to come help, and then we see that it's dirty ball sacks, and now Tariq knew what that smell was. It was the dirty ball sack smell that was so familiar, and he immediately texted Braden. But he tried to pull a move like his old pops. Instead of coming at him direct, he tried to get him to break up with her and say, hey, she tried to come on to me. He said, hey, bro, I can't believe you, man. I thought we were cool, bro. You said you wouldn't lie to me anymore, bro. No. And Tariq saying, look, man, you gotta believe me. Although he did try to lie and say she tried to do it again while he was gone with his brother with Kane. Meanwhile, we see Professor McKnight at the computer. Tariq show up and say, hey, you asked to see me. He say, yeah, Tariq, hey, I heard the Knicks won. He say, is that what we was here to talk about? He say, hey, how about that fellowship? How would you like another shot? He say, I'd do anything for another shot. He say, okay, great. Well, here, I could be your advisor. I could get another special program for you. Meanwhile, we see that at court, next thing you know, Davis doesn't realize that Dirty Ball Sacks is getting a lot of pressure from Otter. And so Otter is, next thing you know, he didn't pressure Dirty Ball Sacks to bring in Paz. So Paz comes in. Tasha didn't know. Davis did know, but Tasha didn't know he was coming. Davis tell her to relax. He doesn't know what was about to occur. So Paz come. She's saying, I really did tell it the truth. So they asking her, hey, what was your relationship with them? And she was the husband of Jamie St. Patrick, and now with my sister. He say, okay, well, how did you know who killed your sister? She said it was Tommy Higgin. I thought it was Jamie, but it was Tommy. He said, how you know? Tasha told me. He said, how you know Tasha didn't set this up? She got the most to gain. And it made Tasha look bad. Meanwhile, Kane getting ready to go for the drop, and he get picked up by the feds. He ain't about to make it to the drop. Meanwhile, Monet, she's asking Diana, where's Kane? I thought you said he'd be here. So now she's calling, wondering where Kane is, pressuring, saying, hey, you said you'd be here. Tariq texting her about the product. She say, come on over to the bar. Meanwhile, we see Davis. He say, hey, first of all, you said on the court and testified that James killed your sister. Now you saying that it was Tommy Egan. Now you saying it was Tasha. You make a habit of lying. Do you have any proof? And she said, I don't have any proof. I don't lie. And he pretty much took her apart like an old burrito, and it was all a wrap for her, and Tasha was sappy. Meanwhile, we see Braden trying to make a move when he gets stopped by his brother. Next thing you know, they conversing in the hallway like this Vanilla ISIS or something, and he telling him, look, I need to talk, bro. He said, look, Tariq's not lying about what happened, but I still don't trust him. Meanwhile, we see that Tariq meet up at the bar, and we see that Diana is talking to him about what's going on on, and he's saying that he do like her or whatever for a second, but he get a phone call. While he get the phone call from his professor, she gotta go through his bag, snooping around, being nosy for whatever reason. She reads one of his index cards from his assignment, and I don't know why she looking weird. She don't know what she's looking at, and that's what happens when you're nosy. You don't know what you're looking at. Meanwhile, we see that up top at the bar that Diana is asking Monet, do you need some help? And she say, no, I don't need no help. We see DC Joe show up. So he asking, where's Kane? She say, I got this time. And so meanwhile, Kane is trying to make phone calls, but nobody's answering the phone while he's in prison. But then he finally do get through. Meanwhile, we see that Diana is talking with Tariq, and he's telling her his life is complicated. You think I don't like you, but I do. I was just trying to protect you when you came through the other day. Next thing you know, he put them lips on her, and you know she gonna get in love now. Meanwhile, we see that Monet is upstairs telling DC Joe she only need half the coke, but she only got half the money, but she needs stuff. He like, look, we gonna have to make other arrangements. She don't want to make no call. Next thing you know, they done got pushed. He getting up. Next thing you know, she done fell as always. He done grabbed the knife. She done popped him in the belly. Took him down. Now Tariq and everybody came up. That's what helped get his attention away so she can shoot him. She finished him off. Now she asking what Tariq was here for, and she realized, oh, okay, him and Diana. She say, no, that ain't it. He wanted product. So Tariq offered to help get rid of the body. Meanwhile, we see Braden, and then he goes and he talking to 6ix9ine, and he telling her he want to break up because she tried to holler at Tariq. She's like, Braden, I wasn't trying to do that. He's like, well, what were you trying to do then? And she ain't had nothing to say. Meanwhile, we see Tariq getting rid of the body with Drew, and he holding the body in this little van, and Drew go ahead and shoot through the window. Tariq got blood on his shirt, and he done finally got his hands a little dirty now, getting rid of a body. Now we see Kane then call Ramirez to come get him out, and he said, you under control? If you can't control yourself, I will too. Monet can't control you, I will. He said, Monet don't need you no more. She changed up her operation. She don't need me. She worked with Tariq St. Patrick. He working with Tariq St. Patrick. She working with him. That's not good. She don't work it with him. That's no good. Tariq. Meanwhile, Monet is putting pressure on Diana. You need to tell me where Kane is now. Next thing you know, before Diana had to speak and spit out any words, here come Kane with Ramirez. Don't worry, Mo. He would have locked up. He got beat though. It wasn't his fault. She say, well, he could talk. Why you his spokesman now? And so she's asking what's going on. He said it told him what happened with DC Joe, but that Tariq and everybody took care of it. Meanwhile, we see that Lauren, she comes over looking real sexy, meet up with Tariq. And she talking about, let's see what's up, sex week, da-da-da. Next thing you know, it's starting to get freaky. He stops her right when it's about to go to the next level. And he pulls out the card talking about, yeah, this is the secret. The teachers is having an affair. She like, what? And he said, that's what this is about. So he basically found a way to get rid of her because he had that blood on his shirt and he didn't want her to find out. Meanwhile, we see that she goes to school the next day, tells the teacher, hey, he told me his secret. I don't know if I did it right or not. And then she reads what the secret was, and now she realizes that Professor McKnight is on that buzz snoggle. Meanwhile, we see Davis pissed. He come at Sax, man, what was you doing? Sax is mad. He thought he can re-emerge as the woo on his ass, and he's like, wait, hold on. We're still in the same team. I had to do what I had to do just so I wouldn't get fired. Here, I got a witness that'll bring everything together. And then we see it's the girl Epiphany. And so I guess they figured that she's gonna be the one to maybe put Tasha as the queen pin. Meanwhile, we see Monet calling Lorenzo, hey, Kane is mine. Don't you put your hands on him again. Don't do that again. I had to do, okay? Don't you do that. Meanwhile, Professor McKnight think he on to something, talking about, yeah, I'm on to you. You have an affair with Tariq St. Patrick. She said, what? He said, yeah, and I'm his advisor now, and I want you to stay away. And she say, oh, okay, that's what this was about? This little card? Here, this is an admission of guilt. This is more about you in your affair with your teacher's aide. And then he say, yeah, but she's grown. Yeah, whatever. She's still your student. You need to stay out of my business and don't worry what I got going on. I'm not being with Tariq. Now, you need to leave. You wouldn't dare. I will tell. Now, I hope that your time here is brief. So now he pissed. Meanwhile, we see Tariq in the room, and then Braden come and say, I'm sorry, bro. I broke up with Riley. You were right. He like, next thing you know, you want to watch some Lethal Weapon, dude? Tariq and him both love that Riggs and Murtaugh Reborn. Meanwhile, Tasha get a visitor in the pen. It's none other than Paz. Did you do the? Did you say the meal? Did you do the SAS medicine? Did you do the? And I don't know. Did you say the meal? And Tasha say, girl, you the only one that lost as much as me. You the only one that hurt as much as me. I looked out for you. In Junior back in school, didn't you get your poppy back taken care of? Don't do that. I'm the only one that kept it real. Yeah, Junior. You took good care of Junior. Okay. All right, Tasha. And then that's how they ended the episode. Nah, it's time for real talk. Nah, this episode overall was pretty good. It was interesting. It's messed up to see how Kane is robbing, the damn church and then took over the church's money, messed it all up. He's dirty. He got no morals. And we'll see what's up with Tariq. I don't know. He got all these enemies now that he don't even realize. Professor McKnight is mad at him and all kind of stuff. He got Kane and Ramirez mad at him. You don't even know that these enemies is out there hating and mad at him. You got Dirty Ball Sacks mad at him. I think that he's in a bad situation, and the worst part is he doesn't even realize it, so he don't even know to protect himself. And then he got the other thing with the ladies. Now that he done kissed both Diana and Lauren now in the same episode, now it's gonna be kind of messed up. In a way, it may have helped him that he kind of messed up when he went a little too hard with getting rid of Lauren out the room, because he may end up breaking Diana's heart this time if she find out that he was with Lauren, especially right after he told her that she got a boyfriend and he ain't with her and thinking about her. And then also, what's up with Zeke? Boy, he been marinating that sandwich deliciously, hasn't he? I mean, the smile on that brother's face is from ear to ear. And he ready to show Monet and everything, but at the same time, he's floating with danger as well, and I don't think he realizes it. Maybe after he go pro, then she don't need to work at that school anymore. Plus, he wouldn't be a student. But as of right now, he need to chill. And especially, he'd have all type of enemies and things trying to get rid of him. And then also, who does Monet think she is? Why does she keep thinking that she is a man in this man's world? She need to stop coming at men like a man. That's why she keep ending up on her ass. That's what, 2 episodes in a row that she done ended up on her ass, where she need to, if she gonna operate in that world, she can operate in that world as a woman, but she need to remember she a woman and handle things appropriately, instead of running up on people like you gonna fight and do this and that, or like they ain't supposed to do something to you. She should upstrap immediately and pop them or something, or do things differently. Anyway, I think that she gonna learn that she gonna have to operate a little differently. You can't just go around killing people and running up on them like you gonna beat them down and think that these dudes is gonna have women beating them down, especially a little older, middle-aged, skinny woman. So I don't know if that's gonna work in her favor. And also, what's up with Paz? It was good to have her back. You know, I love it to do it. I love it to have a Paz back. But why did they think that they are going to tell anything? I don't know. I didn't really know Tasha. I know it for a couple of episodes. That's it. I know Tasha for a couple of episodes. That's it. Anyway, I don't know how Dirty Ball Sacks. He did do a great job though in court, making putting the doubt in the head of thinking that, hey, maybe Tasha did set this up. Maybe she does have the most to gain. Maybe she did plan this from the giddy. But at the end of the day, it's no proof, and that was all speculation. And it was a nice try, but I don't think it's gonna work. And lastly, what's up with Braden's brother Trace? He is a loose end, waiting to go off, waiting to be a problem, and he thinks that he can just call the cops, say this or that, bully. He's used to having things his way. So not being able to manipulate Tariq, or no longer being able to manipulate his brother and talk to his brother with respect, is bothering him, I'm pretty sure. And eventually he's going to erupt with a little bit of rage, and who knows how that's going to turn out. I think it's not going to be pretty. So we'll see. And now it's time for Mosco. First, visuals and cinematography. It was good to see a couple different places and see them travel around the city, see the courtroom and different things. But this, of course, is not going to be a huge visual type TV show. Nevertheless, I give it a 15. Storyline and plot is starting to get interesting. I like to see Dirty Ball Sacks, how he kind of almost flipped everybody and made everybody kind of think, damn, that is possible. That maybe Tasha is the queen pin. It's interesting to see how all these haters are starting to hate on Tariq. I like that. Meanwhile, Tariq has no idea. Is clueless. That's good because he's a rookie. So I would give the storyline and plot for this episode a 15. Meanwhile, special effects, makeup, costume, they don't have a lot of special effects, makeup. The costume is also wardrobe. They always got nice gear, looking fly, different stuff. Women always dress nice, looking beautiful. So I would give that also about a 15. Entertainment and fun factor, this episode was kind of entertainment. I love to see Professor Sexy as much as possible. Zeke, boy, I know he loved this role in this Power Book too. A lot of stuff that's going on with Tariq and everything, and seeing how Professor McKnight is jumping to conclusions and don't know what the hell he's talking about. His mind is starting to wander, and different things. Seeing Tariq finally getting his hands dirty, literally, is interesting. So overall, I would give that as well a 15, which would give this episode a 60 overall, Mosco. So I hope that helps. This was a good episode. It's never going to get that high of a rating as far as my scoring system because of the special effects and makeup is things, but nevertheless, it was entertaining. It was good, and a 6 to a 7 would be a fair rating for this episode. So there you have it. Don't forget, if you're new, subscribe, hit that like, and I'll see you on the next episode. Peace.